Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. I'm joined by my brother from Bangkok. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the studio.
Good to be back.
So he's visiting from Bangkok, he's visiting for the summer or for a few weeks in the beautiful summer rain.
Yeah, trust my luck, huh?
It'll clear up, it'll brighten up. So you may have seen an old video that we did.
Ooh, it's been
long time ago when you opened up Seven Suns.
Yeah, the first branch.
The first branch of Seven Suns, a tea branch in Bangkok. But since then, the brand has sort of pivoted a little bit and has become a really strictly high-end matcha brand.
Yeah, focus more predominantly on matcha. Japanese teas as well, but matcha is our core.
Yeah, and like winning awards in Bangkok, best matcha in Bangkok.
We've expanded now, so we've got a few more branches.
He's doing well, basically. He's got 4 branches. They're all really well received. If you happen to pass by Bangkok, then make sure you check out Seven Suns. 4 branches, possibly more coming. You want to do more?
No. I've got something in the pipeline. Okay. I can't really say too much, but
of course,
yeah,
that's fine. Anyway, the point is, he buys a lot of matcha, right? Yeah. A lot, much more than we have at Mayleaf, because he's going through it like that's basically his mainstay all the time, making matcha.
We're grab and go, right? So we just whisk and we sell hundreds of cups a day.
So they're going through a lot of matcha, and I know that his matcha is good because we share sources. Mm-hmm. So I know he's getting bomb at matcha, which is why the accolades are well deserved. Mm-hmm. Anyway. I have just gone through my process of selecting our 2023 matchas, and in front of us are 4 matchas that all made it to the shortlist. So they're all good matchas in my opinion. One of them is the matcha that we actually ended up ordering as our master's matcha this year, but you don't know which one that is. And so what I thought we would do today is sample these matchas and just get your take on the matchas. We can have a discussion about what you look for as quality markers in matcha, because you're sourcing a lot of matcha, and it will hopefully we'll agree on some things, but maybe
pressure's on.
Maybe we'll disagree on other things. So first of all, you can see all the matchas here. Is there anything that you want to say about what you do in terms of assessing color, assessing the look of the powder?
Well, I mean, I get a lot of samples sent to me on a weekly basis. So obviously the first thing when I open up the little sachets is the color.
Right.
But
how much emphasis do you put on color?
I mean, how do I quantify that? Yes, quite a fair bit of emphasis. But for me, the key is when I put my nose into the packet and I smell straight away, and I know whether or not I'm going to even bother tasting it.
Oh, really?
It's
brutal.
90% of the time they're just. I will actually do a little tasting, but
sure,
just to be sure. But
sure.
You know straight away from your nose like whether this is worthy.
Okay, so aroma and taste obviously paramount. Aroma, taste, texture, but color is important, especially if you're a brand and you want the
and it's our core product.
Yeah.
So you want that vibrancy in the green. You want people to it's a very Instagrammable thing.
And I'm not suggesting that this is the case with your matcha, because I'm sure you would taste it immediately, but you've got to be careful because some matcha manufacturers actually put chlorophyll into.
Yeah, I was going to say. So sometimes I look at the samples and I'm like, wow, then the price doesn't kind of match, and I'm like, And then you can tell they've added some sort of coloring agent.
It's usually chlorophyll, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not like coloring, but it's clearly not really doing anything good for the taste. It's just going to make it more chlorophyll-y in terms of taste. All right. Do you do the texture test where you take a finger and you swipe it?
Generally not,
on paper?
Unless so I'll taste it. If I do find it's got a bit of a gritty texture to it, then I might just do a paper swipe.
So a paper swipe is literally you just dab in dry powder matcha and you swipe down, and it gives you a sense of the color, but also, as you said, a sense of how fine the powder is.
Yeah, sometimes I just dip my finger and kind of do it between my fingers as well. I dab on the tongue.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna call this 1, 2, 3, 4. Why don't you brew up number 1? And we've got 80-degree water. We're gonna taste them one at a time. And as I said, they are all in my opinion, very good matches because you know they made it to the shortlist. So these were in our final 4.
You need a new brush.
I need a new. I know. I knew you were going to criticize my whisk situation. You must go through so many whisks. How many whisks do you go through?
Oh my god! You know those plastic resin ones.
No, I don't.
So you can get one because we went through so many. It was costing an arm and a leg. So we got the resin. So they're supposed to be like they last forever or a very long time.
Yeah. How?
And after a month, they just fell apart.
I mean, literally, like.
And they're actually not that great to use.
If you go to Seven Suns, it's just cup after cup after cup of matchas. Mostly matcha lattes.
Yeah.
But
matcha
then you
latte.
also have like matcha yuzu
Yeah,
drinks.
we do like matcha yuzu tonics. We've got some elderflower ones, mint. We try and do some like iced tea. It's obviously 90% iced.
Yeah.
So you know.
Bangkok is hot.
Yeah. So actually doing a hot matcha is a bit rare.
Okay.
So I know this is a little bit of water, but I just kind of like to taste it very.
So you like to taste it strong. That's good. Why don't you put the brush
you
on?
definitely need a new brush.
I know. Let's just try and show the colour there, although that's not going to be easy without spilling it. Ooh. Focus, son. Okay, go for it. That's super strong. That's sort of in between Koicha and Usucha.
Nice. It's got that astringency to it, that slight bitterness.
That's a question for you. How much do you look for a little bit of bitterness because most of your drinks are diluted with or are mixed with milk? Do you want to add a bit extra bitterness?
So this is a very personal thing. I like a little bitterness.
Yeah, so do I.
I think it adds that character, the finishing touch, having that little bitterness at the end. But I have to think of the majority of my customers.
Yeah.
Most of them prefer a more umami heavy, smooth, velvety kind of matcha. So,
Okay. But you've got different types, right?
Oh, we've got different types,
Yeah.
and then we have different types with different drinks. So you know.
Okay, what do you think of this one then? It's got some bitterness, it's got creaminess, it's got umami.
There's creaminess, umami in there. I would like a little bit more umami, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, there is that seaweed. Well, not that much actually. A slight seaweed element to it, but
A little bit.
on the whole, texture. Maybe because it's quite strong. It's got quite a thick. I can taste the granules a little
You
bit.
can feel the granules.
Yeah,
So you're
maybe
saying
I
that
just didn't whisk
you
it
don't
properly
think the
enough.
grind is particularly perfect.
I think it's a decent grind, but I would prefer something a little smoother.
We are literally nitpicking, but this is good stuff. All right, let's move on to the second one. All of the colours of these matches look good, right? You wouldn't refuse any of these in terms of colours.
No.
They're all looking
these
banging.
Let me just, how do I do this? Just put this one over here.
Put this one over here for the time being, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to move in a bit closer so that camera can see. Don't worry, I'm not going to judge your whisking techniques because of my terrible whisk.
Yeah, but it's tough.
I blame Celine. Because
this one's got.
she goes in and she...
Yeah. This one's definitely got a bit more of that pine foresty kind of fragrance going on,
Okay,
which I like.
interesting. Alright, so let's show the camera this one. I think this lens needs to focus. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, lovely sort of jade, emerald froth.
No.
Yeah,
A little bit.
always miss a bit, but that's fine.
We should be fizzing them, filtering them through the sieve. But
I know. But this is just for sampling.
it's got that chicken broth.
Ooh.
I mean, you know, like those like chicken stock.
Yeah.
Those stock cubes.
Stock cubes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got like that savoury chicken soup note.
Ooh. But definitely more on the bitter side.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the umami is kind of, it's more on the aroma than the tongue.
Mm-hmm. What do you get on the tongue?
Classic kind of grassy, bit more herbaceous. This
But
one.
I also get a roasted note in it. It has
On the smell, I don't really get it on the
I get it
tongue.
on the taste as well. Like a roasted, I don't know, pecan nuts or something in there. I find this. I remember sampling this one and finding it very interesting because of that roasted, that nutty note combined with the umami, combined with the creamy.
It's a strange one. This one.
Yeah,
The
it's
smell.
definitely a
The
curveball.
smell doesn't match what I was expecting in terms of the taste. and
No,
the
I know what
finish.
you mean. Yeah,
Whereas number one was a bit more
straight ahead.
straight ahead, like a bit more the standard matcha.
Yeah.
That
No, this is
taste.
definitely a bit of an oddski one, but I kind of enjoy the oddskiness of it.
And it feels lighter on the palate
Yeah, lighter in terms of taste or in terms of
in terms of the actual the thickness of the powder.
yeah.
I know I didn't measure the water, so maybe that's a discrepancy.
It's going to be
but-
there or thereabouts.
But,
I know what you mean.
That one felt a lot thicker. And
Heavier.
then you can even see by the edge of the bowl that it's a
Yeah.
bit more.
So out of these two preferences,
I would go for number one.
okay. All right. Number 3.
Do you want to do the third whisk?
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, number one.
Number
I
1
just
is
feel like as an all-rounder
yeah. It's
so
a, yeah.
far, it's a bit more creamy as well.
I think that for me, both of them have requisite creaminess. I think that the second one has an interesting nuttiness that I sort of you don't really get that often, in my opinion. And I found that really interesting. This is number 3. Okay, there you go. All right, see what number 3 has in store for you.
Well, I like the color on this one a little bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely got the most.
It's got more pop.
It's got the most bling.
Matcha bling.
There's a brand for you, Matcha bling.
I like that. It's a different bitterness.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm not very good at descriptions, but
Yeah, it has a roundedness.
yeah,
the
I feel
bitterness.
the bitterness more coating the back of my tongue, and it lingers.
Yeah, but it has this rounded, savoury note that sort of matches with that bitterness and gives it like
It's not a sharp bitterness.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more of a hum bitterness
Yeah.
that goes around your tongue,
yeah.
right?
Hum is exactly how I would define it.
I like that.
Smooth.
I'd quite happily have that as a nice usucha,
Yeah.
and this iced would be great.
So, in terms of taste, I would say it's got umami. It's got this lovely velvety roundedness to it that I think transforms to a slight lemoniness in the mouth. Actually, you know, and I always like that in Japanese teas when there's a conversion to a sort of
Yeah,
slight
there is a
limoncello oil lemoniness.
Yeah, I was
or
going to say
something,
there's a freshness, a very
Yeah.
kind of citrusy freshness to it.
which you don't sort of get at the beginning because it's full of this rounded warmth to it.
And now it's mellowed out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a very mellow, easy. I think a quite nice easy drinker. If you like to have that bitter edge to a matcha, this is a great
Yeah.
all rounder.
Okay, so that's number 3. Do you want to put some water in here, and we'll do number 4, and then you can taste through them again if you want.
It's like to the edge of this bowl.
Yeah, no, it's definitely clinging.
And these were all 2 grams, right?
2.5 grams I put.
2.5.
2.5 grams. Not messing around. We're definitely going to be feeling something.
Yeah.
Rewire our brains.
Oh, we use 4 grams.
You use an insane. When I go and see you guys working, I'm like, my God, that's a lot of matcha. You can never accuse your guys
of skimping
on their matcha. My God. Here you go. All right.
Again, look at the color on this.
Yeah. It's popping, isn't it?
Really
Although
vibrant.
that one has more of that. It's weird how you have ones that have a little bit more of like a turquoisey quality to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you get some matches that there's greens, but there's different types of greens, right? And from my experience, there's kind of like a blue green,
yeah.
that I tend to look for.
That's what you're looking for. Yeah,
and,
I agree.
Those tend to be.
And when you see them in the bubbles, I think it's a good sign. They tend to pop when.
It reminds me of like some sort of this Japanese soup. What is it? Like almost like a miso-y soup with seaweed in it. I don't know, you know those miso soups when the seaweed.
But it's just the broth. It's not so much of the miso in it.
Yeah, that.
It's more seaweed soup.
Yeah,
seaweed and.
But in a very, and it's got the mouthfeel and it's very velvety and lush.
Yeah.
The bubbles, you can really look at the difference in the bubbles. I know it's probably.
Well, we need to whisk them up again a bit, but yeah. But
yeah,
definitely
the
got
foam,
a good crema,
the foam definitely had a great mouthfeel, I felt.
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting.
Okay, so 4 matches.
Maybe I should add a bit more water in that one.
Maybe a bit more in that one, yeah. That's it. So, do you agree that they're all pretty decent matches? For
and with each with their own
character. Yeah,
it's great.
Exactly.
Feeling really wired right now.
I know. I'm feeling that brain tingle that you get with a theanine hit.
So this is the question, right? Which is my favorite?
But I'm happy for you to tell me your favorite. I think that they're all good. You can see if you can pick out the one that I chose. If you want. It's a fun little added elements to it.
See, it's a very try to find which one you picked.
No. Which one would you pick? Which one would you pick? That's a better question. Which one would you pick for drinking pure? For drinking pure.
Drinking pure would probably be number 3.
So that would be your pure.
Well, I like these two.
Yeah.
I do find this interesting.
Yeah.
But I feel I'm not sure if I could drink that every day.
Yeah.
This is just a nice standard all-rounder, but there's definitely some more interesting textures and mouthfeel with these ones.
Yeah.
So let me just try number 4 again, because
they're both great.
Actually, I think it would probably be number 4. They're a very close 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, well, I can reveal to you that I picked this one. And tasting them now, both of them, both of these would be quite happily our Masters Matcha this year. I think they have slight differences in them. A little bit, like you said, a little bit more seaweed on this one, and I think a little bit like more rounder on this one. And so I tend to have, because we have 2 matches, we have the ceremony and we have our Masters. I tend to always go for the most rounded possible taste for the for the Masters. Obviously, still having some bitterness and whatever, but I tend to go for that, and I tend to go for a little.
Where's this one from?
It's Uji.
Okay. Are they all?
No.
Ah.
Uji
Shizuoka.
Shizuoka.
I was gonna say these have to be Shizuokas.
But the reason I went is because it's not always the case that Uji's better than Shizuoka.
No. I've had some great matcha from Shizuoka.
It's not always the case. So it's sort of like I don't want that sort of it has to be Uji all the time. You can get amazing Shizuoka matchas.
Generally speaking, though, in terms of the color, pop, the Uji has that. That's why I kind of
tends to have more pop and tends to have a better grind.
That's true.
More of the creaminess in the grind. Shizuoka, you feel like maybe it's a few microns like coarser.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I
don't know.
I know what you're saying. It just feels this has a nicer mouthfeel. I find.
Yeah, exactly. It's got that really creamy mouthfeel. But
but I've had some matches from some samples sent to me, and then the grind was so coarse. I just didn't understand how could anyone enjoy drinking it like that. You could actually stick your tongue out and you see little granules.
No. A coarse grind is a no.
That would be great as a latte as well.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, it would be a luxury latte. All of these teas, I should say, are expensive matches. They're all in the sort of high end range of price point. But they're all good, and it is always an interesting time tasting sampling matches, because first of all you get hammered, you get wired. So I mean, for me it's like I'm buzzing for like the whole day. But it's really, really fascinating to taste through them, because back to back you really get to notice the differences. And it's unfortunate that we can't just buy lots and present them to everybody, because that wouldn't make financial sense for us, because tasting through them you get to experience a lot of differences between them. I would say that one actually would be quite interesting with milk, because of that roasty nutty note to it. But yeah, we shall see. I know you've got a roasted one.
I got a roasted one that I really like.
There you go. He's already found his.
I do really find this one interesting, but I would prefer the roasted one, Yabukita roasted.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So I think we're pretty much in agreement on what we like in our matches. Let us know what you like in your matches. Are you more down the sort of, you want more brightness? I never think matcha should taste of cut grass, because that for me is a big no-no. It has to have enough maturation in terms of its sort of depth and roundedness, and if it's just too chlorophyll-y and too green, it's for me it's not matcha.
And most of my customers hate that grassy. You want that unique.
And I think that a lot of people, when they get into matcha, they're thinking it's going to be like a green drink, like one of those wheatgrass or chlorophyll things, right? And so a lot of sellers think that that's what it should be.
Well, to be fair, you go to a lot of not just bubble tea, but tea bars where they sell quite inferior,
excessively green.
And that's a lot of people's first time drinking matcha. I have a lot of customers coming, oh no, I hate it. I was like, well, have you tried it? A real matcha? Like, no, I've tried it loads of times. It's terrible. It's just not for me. Let's just try it one more time. And then they try it and they're like, oh, this is actually not too bad.
It's creamy, it's deep, it's round. Yeah, exactly.
So it's getting a bad rep from a lot of places.
Well, it's the way it is. It is the way it is. And it's unfortunate. You've got to try some high grade matcha, because that rounded, creamy nature is just gorgeous. And the green stuff is really the cheap stuff. Anyway, thank you for confirming that I've made a decent decision. Masters Matcha is online. That's it, Tea-Heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, this is Han and I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the good stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.